Vanessa Trump just shocked the world with a huge announcement about her ex-husband Donald Trump Jr., and the internet is in a complete frenzy. After years of silence, Vanessa is finally breaking her silence on their tumultuous marriage, the truth behind their seemingly perfect love story, and what really caused their explosive split. And if that wasn't enough, rumors are swirling about a new mystery man in her life, one that has reportedly left Trump Jr. fuming. From their fairy tale beginning as a golden couple of the Trump dynasty to the quiet unraveling of their marriage under the glaring spotlight of political chaos, cheating rumors, and growing resentment, Vanessa's latest bombshell is peeling back the carefully curated curtain. So, what is the massive announcement? What does Vanessa really think of her ex-husband now? Who's the new man allegedly stealing from her ex-husband now? Who's the new man allegedly stealing her heart? And how is Donald Trump Jr. reacting to it all? Buckle up, because this story has more twists than a Netflix drama. Let's dive into the shocking saga of Vanessa Trump, the all-American love story. Their relationship blossomed in the gilded spotlight of Manhattan's elite social circles. Vanessa, with her background in modeling and her quiet poise, complemented Don Jr.'s brash, business-first attitude. While Don Jr. was being groomed for a larger role in the Trump family empire, Vanessa provided a sense of grounded elegance that balanced his sometimes over-the-top personality. The pair became a frequent sight at high-profile charity balls, red carpet events, and Trump-branded functions. But behind the glamorous photos and tabloid snapshots, there was a real connection. Friends close to the couple often remarked that Vanessa was one of the few people who could challenge Don Jr. without it turning into a battle of egos. Their chemistry was palpable, and even in the early days, many believed they were destined to go the distance. In 2005, just 2 years after their quirky meet-cute, Don Jr. proposed to Vanessa with a $100,000 engagement ring. The twist? He got it for free in exchange for letting a jeweler use the proposal as a publicity stunt. True to Trump form, even the most intimate moments had a commercial edge. Vanessa, ever the class act, rolled with it. The couple married in November 2005 at the Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida, the Trump family's private oasis and a symbol of their opulence. Their wedding was nothing short of extravagant, attended by a who's who of New York's social scene and, of course, the entire Trump clan. Vanessa looked every bit the fairy tale bride, and Don Jr. played the part of the proud, beaming groom. It was the kind of event that magazines clamored to cover, glamorous, dramatic, and steeped in the mythology of America's most polarizing family. In those early years, Vanessa and Don Jr. seemed like the embodiment of the American dream: wealth, love, and legacy all wrapped into one striking couple. Though their journey would eventually take a different turn, their story began with charm, coincidence, and just the right dash of Trump-style spectacle. The proposal that made headlines. The headline-making proposal at Short Hills Mall was only the beginning of a marriage that played out both in the spotlight and in the shadows. Don Jr.'s flashy, business-oriented gesture, trading publicity for a diamond ring, set the tone for a relationship where spectacle and strategy often went hand in hand. Vanessa, ever composed, didn't flinch. She said yes without hesitation, stepping deeper into the high-stakes world of the Trump family. Their wedding in 2005 was a media frenzy. Held at Mar-a-Lago, the Trump family's crown jewel of Florida luxury, the ceremony was dripping with wealth and tradition. Vanessa's gown by Vera Wang made headlines, and the guest list included political figures, celebrities, and elite socialites. For a moment, they were the poster couple for upper-crust American success. In the years that followed, the couple's family grew quickly, 5 children in less than a decade. Vanessa devoted herself to motherhood, often keeping a low profile as Don Jr. ramped up his public presence, especially during his father's political ascent. She was seen as the calm, private figure in contrast to her husband's increasingly aggressive political persona. But behind the polished family photos and glamorous appearances, tensions simmered. Friends close to the couple began to notice a shift. Vanessa's quiet grace clashed with the public controversies Don Jr. courted. While he leaned further into politics and public brawls on social media, she focused on their children and keeping life at home stable. Whispers of discontent turned into rumors, and rumors eventually led to headlines. What once seemed like an unbreakable union forged in fame and ambition slowly started to show cracks. The glitz and glamour of their early years masked the quiet unraveling behind the scenes. A love story now caught between loyalty, legacy, and the heavy weight of a very public life. Cracks begin to show. While Don Jr. Vanessa's fiery political persona dominated headlines, Vanessa found herself retreating further from the spotlight, focusing solely on her children and preserving a sense of normalcy at home. The disconnect grew deeper as their lives became increasingly separate, his filled with rallies, interviews, and controversy, hers with homework, school runs, and emotional labor. Sources close to the couple hinted at long-standing issues that had little to do with politics. The demanding nature of Don Jr.'s work, even before the 2016 campaign, had always meant he was away often. But when that workload transformed into round-the-clock media appearances and Twitter battles, the emotional absence became impossible to ignore. Vanessa, once accustomed to the rhythm of their busy lives, found herself increasingly sidelined and unsupported. To add fuel to the fire, Don Jr. began making headlines for the wrong reasons. Rumors of infidelity swirled, with several tabloid stories hinting at inappropriate relationships during his marriage. While none were confirmed at the time, the constant speculation only deepened the cracks in their foundation. Friends noted that Vanessa, known for her grace and loyalty, had been deeply hurt by the betrayals, real or perceived. Despite their shared history and 5 children, the emotional distance between them had become too wide to bridge. They were no longer aligned, no longer partners in the way they once had been. While Don Jr. appeared energized by his new role in the political spotlight, Vanessa was quietly breaking down under the weight of emotional neglect, public embarrassment, and the growing realization that their paths had diverged beyond repair. By early 2018, the writing was on the wall. What had once been a high-profile romance turned political fairy tale had lost its magic. The glimmer of their early love story was now dulled by years of stress, silence, and growing incompatibility. Infidelity rumors and secret affairs. The news of the affair with Aubrey O'Day sent shockwaves through both the media and the Trump inner circle. What made it especially scandalous was the timing. Vanessa was pregnant with their son Tristan at the time. According to O'Day, the relationship with Don Jr. wasn't just a fling. It was emotional, intense, and in her words, real love. She even claimed that Don Jr. told her he had fallen out of love with Vanessa and was ready to start a new life. While Don Jr. never publicly confirmed the affair, Aubrey left a trail of suggestive social media posts, cryptic lyrics, and subtle interviews that all pointed toward a deeply personal connection with the Trump son. Insiders claimed that Vanessa eventually discovered the affair through emails, sparking intense private confrontations. However, she reportedly chose to stay silent, for the sake of the children and possibly to protect the family's public image. But beneath the silence was a woman who had been deeply betrayed. Sources close to Vanessa said the infidelity and the audacity of it happening during a pregnancy was something she never truly got over. She may have appeared calm and composed in public, but behind closed doors, trust had eroded beyond repair. The divorce filing in 2018 marked a dramatic end to nearly 13 years of marriage. Initially low-key and seemingly amicable, the process quickly soured when money became a central issue. Vanessa, who had stepped back from her career to raise their children, was reportedly worried about Don Jr.'s financial decisions and spending habits, particularly as he continued to live a high-octane lifestyle filled with expensive hobbies and headline-making political statements. With the Trump family dynasty under constant public scrutiny, Vanessa's quiet strength in the face of betrayal stood in stark contrast to Don Jr.'s loud, combative persona. The affair may have been the final straw, but it was years of growing apart, emotional neglect, and conflicting values that ultimately led to the collapse of their once glittering union. Life after divorce. After the divorce was finalized, Vanessa Trump made a conscious decision to retreat from the chaos that had defined much of her married life. She rarely appeared in public and kept her social media presence minimal, focusing almost entirely on raising her 5 children. Friends say she embraced the role of full-time mom with grace, working hard to provide a sense of normalcy and stability after years of being in the media crosshairs. She was seen occasionally at family events or school functions, but always avoided interviews, partisan discourse, or anything that might pull her back into the political storm surrounding her ex-husband. Meanwhile, Don Jr. leaned even harder into his role as a political firebrand. He became a staple on the campaign trail, energizing Trump supporters with his brash rhetoric and combative tone. His social media accounts turned into battlegrounds, filled with fiery posts aimed at critics, liberals, and anyone who dared challenge the Trump name. He co-authored books, gave headline-grabbing speeches, and stood loyally by his father's side through multiple investigations and legal dramas. His personal life also moved on quickly. Don Jr. began dating Kimberly Guilfoyle, another prominent figure in conservative media. The two became inseparable, often appearing at rallies and fundraisers as a polished, camera-ready duo. Their relationship seemed tailor-made for the world of political theater, loud, flashy, and unapologetically pro-Trump. Vanessa, in contrast, kept her world tightly knit and private. She focused on parenting and keeping her children grounded amidst the swirling drama around their famous last name. While Don Jr. made headlines, Vanessa quietly built a life rooted in routine, peace, and personal growth. Though they had once walked the same red carpets and posed for the same magazine covers, Vanessa and Don Jr.'s lives had split dramatically. One leaned into the noise, the other embraced the quiet. And as the years passed, their opposing paths only made the contrast between them more striking. Vanessa breaks her silence. Vanessa's quiet but powerful remarks at the charity gala sent shockwaves through the media world. For years, she has remained silent, never commenting on the highs and lows of her very public marriage. But in just a few carefully chosen words, she managed to reclaim her narrative. Her tone wasn't bitter or accusatory. It was composed, thoughtful, and full of closure. It was clear to those listening that she had turned a page. The reaction was immediate. Headlines lit up, pundits speculated, and social media buzzed with interpretations of her statement. But perhaps the biggest revelation came from insiders close to Vanessa, who confirmed what many suspected: she was preparing to tell her story in full. According to sources, Vanessa is in advanced discussions with publishers to release a memoir that promises to shed light on her life behind the velvet ropes of Trump world. The book is said to cover everything, from her modeling days and whirlwind romance with Don Jr. to the strains of political fame, the betrayal, and ultimately, her quiet journey to independence. While the release date hasn't been confirmed, early reports suggest the memoir could be a game-changer. Unlike the more bombastic Trump tell-alls, Vanessa's book is rumored to take a more introspective tone, focusing on personal growth, motherhood, and survival under intense public scrutiny. For many, Vanessa's announcement felt like the beginning of a new chapter, not just for her, but for anyone curious about what really goes on behind the gold-plated doors of America's most controversial family. A new mystery man emerges. The buzz around Vanessa Trump's personal life has reached a fever pitch after she was spotted dining at a chic Tribeca restaurant with none other than golf legend Tiger Woods. While the press initially floated vague descriptions of a mystery man with philanthropic interests, insiders have now confirmed that the two have been seeing each other quietly for several months. The sighting, complete with laughter, hand-holding, and unmistakable chemistry, has reignited interest in Vanessa's life post-Don Jr., and it's safe to say this pairing has caught everyone by surprise. According to those close to Vanessa, she and Tiger initially connected through mutual friends in elite philanthropic circles. Both have been involved in children's charities and educational initiatives, which became a meaningful foundation for their early conversations. What started as casual lunches soon evolved into something deeper. They share more than just high-profile pasts. They understand the intense pressures of public life, and both have weathered personal storms under a relentless media spotlight. Sources say Vanessa was extremely cautious before diving into a new relationship. After her highly publicized split from Don Jr., she focused solely on her 5 children, avoiding the dating scene altogether. But with Tiger, things reportedly felt different. Friends describe their bond as genuine and claim the two are taking things slow but seriously. "She's never seen him like this," said one insider familiar with Tiger's inner circle. "He's calm, focused, and really into her." As for Don Jr., the reaction has been less than enthusiastic. While he hasn't commented publicly, sources say he's not thrilled to see Vanessa moving on, especially with someone as famous as Tiger Woods. The idea of his ex-wife dating one of the most recognizable athletes in the world has reportedly caused some friction, even behind closed doors. But Vanessa seems unfazed. After years of silence, heartbreak, and raising her children in the background, she's finally embracing a new chapter, one that includes love, laughter, and yes, even Tiger Woods. Don Jr. Wadi's reaction. Don Jr.'s reaction to the news of Vanessa's blossoming relationship with Tiger Woods has been, in a word, complicated. While he hasn't addressed it directly, his social media tells a different story. Within days of the Tribeca dinner photos making headlines, Don Jr. shared a series of posts that raised eyebrows. One meme mocked so-called beta males, while another cryptically warned about loyalty and betrayal, prompting followers to speculate that the posts were thinly veiled jabs at Vanessa and her new partner. Insiders say the passive-aggressive tone is no accident. Although Don Jr. has moved on publicly with Kimberly Guilfoyle, often showcasing their relationship at political events, those close to him suggest he still harbors unresolved feelings about Vanessa. One source explained, "He's not used to seeing her with someone who doesn't revolve around the Trump orbit. Tiger's a household name, successful and admired, but not political. That's unsettling for Don." The fact that Tiger has remained largely apolitical throughout his career makes the pairing even more surprising, and some say, threatening to Don Jr.'s ego. There's also a deeper tension simmering beneath the surface. Rumors about Vanessa's forthcoming memoir have reportedly caused concern in Trump circles. While she's kept quiet for years, her recent comments at a gala and the whispers about a potential book deal have raised alarms. Don Jr. is said to be uneasy about what Vanessa might choose to reveal, especially given the volatile years during his father's campaign and presidency. Friends suggest that Don Jr.'s discomfort isn't just about romance, it's about control. For years, Vanessa was silent, supportive, and behind the scenes. Now she's speaking out, possibly writing a tell-all and dating a global sports icon. It's a shift in power dynamics that Don Jr. may not be handling well, at least not quietly. What Vanessa really thinks about her ex-husband today. Vanessa has remained classy and composed in public, rarely taking jabs or airing dirty laundry. But those close to her say she has complicated feelings about Don Jr. She doesn't hate him, one source shared. She appreciates what they had, and she respects him as the father of her kids, but she also feels like she lost herself during that marriage. She had to shrink to fit into his world. In private, Vanessa has allegedly told friends that Don Jr. is addicted to the spotlight and constantly performing for an audience. While she doesn't regret the marriage, she's relieved to have her own space now and is focused on not repeating those same patterns in future relationships. Where they stand now. Despite the drama, Vanessa and Don Jr. have reportedly figured out a solid co-parenting rhythm. They both attend their children's events and maintain a civil, even friendly relationship in public. But behind the smiles, sources say the relationship remains strictly business. Vanessa keeps her distance from the Trump political machine, while Don Jr. continues to ride the wave of MAGA fandom. Kimberly Guilfoyle has taken on more of a stepmom role in the Trump world, while Vanessa is said to focus on nurturing her children in a more low-key, private environment. As for her next chapter, between the rumored memoir, a new romance, and growing independence, it looks like Vanessa Trump is finally stepping out of the shadow of the Trump empire and making her own name. So, what do you think about Vanessa Trump's massive announcement and everything that's come out since? Is her rumored memoir going to shake up the Trump world? Is Don Jr. secretly jealous of her new relationship? And how do you feel about the fact that their seemingly perfect marriage was unraveling for years behind the scenes? One thing's for sure, Vanessa Trump is no longer the quiet, behind-the-scenes wife of a political figure. She's finding her voice, setting the record straight, and maybe, just maybe, preparing to tell all. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the wild, dramatic, and jaw-dropping lives of America's most talked-about figures. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are you Team Vanessa or Team Don Jr.? What would you want to see in Vanessa's tell-all? And who do you think her mystery man really is? Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and stay tuned.